You were never meant to look for a job. You were never meant to chase after anything. The moment you begin searching, you admit that you lack, and when you affirm lack, you create more of it. God placed within you the power to call forth whatever you need. But instead of using this power, you have been conditioned to believe that work, effort, and struggle are the only way. This is a lie. Ask yourself, when have you ever truly received something by force? When has worry ever delivered your desires? It never has, because the key was never in the search, but in the knowing. A man who knows he is wealthy does not wake up searching for money. A man who knows he is loved does not chase affection. And a man who knows he is chosen does not beg for opportunities. God said, "Be still and know that I am God." Not work hard, not beg, not worry, but know. So if you have been looking for a job, stop. If you have been looking for security, stop. Instead, turn inward. See yourself already in possession of what you seek. Live in the end. Feel the relief, the joy, the certainty of already having it. And when you do, watch how effortlessly it comes. Doors will open where there were none. Opportunities will call to you. Because God never told you to look for anything. He told you to believe and receive. Everything you experience in life is a direct reflection of your internal world. The circumstances, the people, the opportunities, and even the challenges that appear before you are not random occurrences. They are projections of the beliefs you hold within. If you truly grasp this, you will understand that nothing is happening to you. It is all happening through you. The moment you realize this, you stop being a victim of life and become the master of it. From the time you were born, you were conditioned to believe that the external world holds the answers to your desires. You were taught that success comes from hard work, that love comes from another person, that happiness is found in material gain. But what if none of that were true? What if everything you seek is already within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed? The truth is, the world is simply a mirror reflecting your deepest assumptions, whether you are conscious of them or not. If you believe the world is a cruel and unfair place, it will present you with evidence to confirm that belief. You will encounter obstacles, unkind people, and situations that reinforce your assumption. But if you believe that life is unfolding perfectly for you, that you are always guided, always provided for, then the world will shape itself to reflect that truth. It is not the world that changes first. It is you. Your thoughts, emotions, and dominant beliefs are shaping your experiences right now. If you look around at your life and see lack, struggle, or limitations, understand that they are not forces outside of you controlling your fate. They are simply reflections of the assumptions you have accepted as true. You do not need to fight against them, complain about them, or fear them. You simply need to change the cause, the state of mind that is producing them. Most people try to change their external conditions without addressing their internal reality. They chase after money, love, or recognition, hoping that acquiring them will bring peace. But even when they succeed, they soon find themselves feeling empty again, needing more. Why? Because they have not addressed the source. A person who feels unworthy will continue to manifest situations that reinforce that unworthiness. No matter how much they achieve, a person who feels abundant will always attract abundance, even if they start with nothing. So the question is, what are you assuming to be true about yourself? Do you see yourself as powerful, as worthy, as someone who naturally attracts what they desire? Or do you see yourself as someone who must struggle, who must prove their worth, who must fight for what they want? The world will only ever confirm what you assume. To transform your reality, you must first transform your inner world. This means becoming deeply aware of your thoughts, your self-talk, and the emotions you habitually entertain. It is not enough to simply wish for a better life. You must step into the version of yourself who already has it. If you desire love, you must feel loved now. If you desire wealth, You must embody the feeling of abundance now. The external world is always lagging behind your inner world. It will catch up once you make the shift. This is why many people feel stuck. They are waiting for the world to change so they can feel different, not realizing that the world is waiting for them to change first. When you take responsibility for your reality, you reclaim your power. You no longer react to life, you direct it. You no longer beg for opportunities, they find you. You no longer seek approval, you radiate confidence. The external world is not your master, it is your servant. It reflects you perfectly, without fail. If you want to know what you truly believe about yourself, look at your life. It is the most honest feedback you will ever receive. And if you do not like what you see, do not resist it. Change it from within. You were never meant to search outside yourself for what already exists within. You are not here to chase, to struggle, or to hope that life will be kind to you. You are here to declare, to assume, to know that what you desire is already yours. And when you do, the world will have no choice but to reflect that truth back to you. You were never meant to chase, to struggle, or to beg for what is already yours. The idea that you must exhaust yourself to receive the blessings of life is a belief imposed by the world, not by God. From the moment you were created, everything you would ever need was already set in place for you. Your only task is to align with it, to receive it, and to trust that it is already done. When you chase something, you affirm that it is separate from you. You send a message to yourself and the world that you do not have it. And by doing so, you create more distance between you and your desire. But when you receive, you acknowledge that what you seek is already within reach. You shift from a state of lack to a state of fulfillment, and life responds accordingly. Look at nature. Does the sun chase the sky? Do the rivers beg the ocean to accept their flow? No. Everything moves in harmony, effortlessly aligning with its purpose. The trees do not struggle to grow, they simply absorb the light and water given to them, and growth happens naturally. The birds do not wake up in fear of lack. They trust that the earth will provide. You too are part of this divine design. You were never meant to live in desperation, to run after things as if they were escaping you. What is meant for you cannot be lost. God has placed within you the power to call forth everything you need. When you align with this power, you no longer operate from desperation. You no longer seek approval, opportunities, or love from a place of lack. Instead, you stand in the certainty that all things are already moving in your favor. And when you do this, life becomes effortless. The world has taught you to believe in struggle. It has conditioned you to think that success comes only to those who work the hardest, that love is something you must prove yourself worthy of, that opportunities must be fought for. But have you ever noticed that those who truly succeed, those who seem to attract everything with ease, are the ones who do not chase? They carry a knowing, an unshakable faith that what they desire is already theirs. They do not beg, they allow. They do not force, they receive. If you find yourself in a constant state of seeking, take a step back and ask yourself, what am I affirming with my actions? Am I declaring that I lack? Am I acting as if what I desire is separate from me? The moment you shift your perception, the moment you start seeing yourself as already in possession of what you desire, the chase ends. You do not need to run after anything, it will come to you naturally. God never intended for you to beg for what is rightfully yours. Imagine a child asking their parent for food and the parent responding, only if you prove yourself worthy. That would be absurd. And yet that is how so many approach life, believing that they must earn what is already freely given. But God does not withhold. What you desire is not a matter of worthiness. It is a matter of alignment. The key to receiving is in your state of being. You must assume the feeling of already having what you seek. If you desire love, feel love now. If you desire success, embody the energy of success now. The external world is simply a reflection of your internal state. The moment you stop chasing and start receiving, you will notice something miraculous. The things you once ran after will begin to seek you. Opportunities will arise effortlessly, people will appear at the right time, and doors you never knocked on will open before you. This is not wishful thinking, this is divine law. The more you chase, the more you affirm separation. But the more you trust, the more you allow what is already yours to come to you. Let go of the struggle. Release the need to force things into existence. Stand in the knowing that you were never meant to chase, but to receive. And when you do, life will flow to you in ways beyond your imagination. Everything you experience in life is shaped by the assumptions you hold within. Your world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. What you assume to be true becomes your reality, and what you persist in imagining will inevitably take form in your life. You are not at the mercy of circumstances, for circumstances are only reflections of your inner state. The only reality that exists is the one you create in your imagination. Most people believe that the physical world is the ultimate truth, that what they see and touch determines what is real. But the unseen is far more powerful than the seen. Everything that exists today was once only an idea, a thought, an image held in the mind. The chair you sit on, the building you stand in, the life you live, all were first imagined before they became real. This is the nature of creation. It begins in the mind and then manifests outwardly. If you truly understand this, you will stop reacting to life as if it is something separate from you. Instead, you will realize that life is responding to you, mirroring back to you the state of your consciousness. When you assume lack, you will walk into situations that confirm your assumption. You will see evidence of struggle, of limitation, of things not working out in your favor. But this is not because the world is against you. It is because you have accepted the idea of lack as true. Your mind is the projector, and life is simply the screen reflecting what you believe. Change the projection and the picture must change. And the same is true for abundance. When you assume that life is full, that you are always provided for, that opportunities flow effortlessly to you, then the world has no choice but to confirm it. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. You will meet people who open doors for you. Solutions will appear before problems even arise. This is not coincidence. This is law. Many people struggle because they live only in reaction to the physical world, forgetting that they are the cause of it. They see lack and they reinforce it by believing in it even more. They feel rejected and they assume they are unworthy, which only brings them more rejection. But those who understand the power of imagination do not allow the external world to dictate their inner state. They do not wait for evidence to believe in something. They believe in it first, and then the evidence appears. The world will always conform to what you persist in assuming. If you wish to change your life, you must first change your inner conversation. What are you telling yourself daily? What images are you entertaining in your mind? If you are constantly thinking of failure, do not be surprised when you experience it. If you are always dwelling on being unloved, do not be shocked when you attract more loneliness. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply accepts what you impress upon it and brings it to life. This is why it is so important to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Do not wait for things to change before you feel abundant, loved, or successful. Feel it now. Walk in the knowing that it is already done. Speak as if you have already received what you desire. Think from the place of fulfillment, not from the place of longing. The world will adjust itself to match the new state you occupy. Some may doubt this, believing that circumstances are fixed and that life is simply a matter of fate. But those who have tested the power of imagination know the truth. The only fate that exists is the one you create. If you accept limitations, they will rule your life. But if you choose to believe in the unseen, if you persist in assuming the reality you desire, then nothing is impossible. You do not need to struggle, chase, or fight against the world. You only need to change the assumption that is creating it. Assume abundance, and you will live in abundance. Assume love, and you will be surrounded by it. Assume success and doors will open before you. The world is not separate from you, it is you pushed outward. Your imagination is the only reality. Shape it wisely and life will reflect its beauty back to you. Desire is not random. It is not something you create on your own, nor is it something you must fight for. Desire is God speaking to you, calling you toward the life that is already yours. The moment a vision of prosperity, love, or success enters your heart, it exists in the unseen realm. You do not need to struggle for it, nor do you need to earn it through effort. Your only task is to awaken to it, to recognize that it is already yours, and to allow it to unfold in your life. Most people misunderstand desire. They see it as a sign of lack, as something they must chase. They believe that wanting something means they do not yet have it, and so they spend their lives running after dreams that seem just out of reach. But this is an illusion. The very fact that you desire something is proof that it is already yours. If it were not meant for you, it would not have entered your awareness at all. The feeling of desire is God's way of showing you what is possible, what is waiting for you the moment you align with it. Think of a radio. The station you wish to hear is already being broadcast, but you must tune in to the right frequency to receive it. In the same way, your desire already exists in the unseen. You simply need to shift your consciousness to match it. When you desire wealth, it is because the reality of wealth is calling you. When you desire love, it is because love is already prepared for you. When you desire success, it is because success is waiting for you to claim it. You are not creating something new. You are awakening to what has always been yours. The mistake many make is in thinking they must work for what they desire. They believe they must prove their worth, struggle and fight against the world to receive what is naturally theirs. But God does not place a desire in your heart only to make you suffer for it. The struggle is never in receiving. The struggle is only in believing that you must struggle. When you release the need to fight, when you let go of the belief that you must force things into being, you will see how effortlessly life unfolds. To awaken to your desire, you must first accept that it is already done. You must live in the feeling of its fulfillment, knowing that the unseen is just as real as the seen. This is why faith is so powerful. It is the ability to see beyond appearances, to trust in what the world cannot yet see. The moment you believe that your desire is already yours, life will rearrange itself to reflect that belief. Some may argue that desire leads to disappointment, that to want something is to set yourself up for failure. But this only happens when you treat desire as something outside of yourself, something to be obtained rather than something to be realized. The truth is, you do not chase after your desires, you assume them. You embody the state of already having what you want, and the world responds accordingly. You have been taught to believe in effort, in struggle, in competition. But look at how effortlessly the sun rises each morning, how the seasons change without force, how the rivers flow to the ocean without resistance. Nature does not struggle, and neither should you. When you align with the truth that your desire is already yours, you will experience the same effortless flow. You will no longer seek, you will simply receive. Let go of the idea that you must work for what is already given. Let go of the belief that you are separate from what you desire. Trust that the vision placed in your heart is not a test, not a tease, but a promise. Your only responsibility is to align with it, to live in the knowing that it is done. And when you do, you will watch as your world shifts effortlessly to reflect the divine reality that has always been waiting for you. There is a profound difference between searching for something and knowing it is already yours. The search implies separation, a belief that what you desire is somewhere outside of you, waiting to be found. But the truth is, nothing is missing. The reality you seek already exists, and it is only your awareness of it that needs to shift. When you live in the end rather than in the search, the world has no choice but to rearrange itself to reflect your certainty. Most people live in a constant state of seeking. They seek love, they seek wealth, they seek happiness, always believing that these things exist somewhere beyond their current experience. And because they continue to affirm that they do not have what they want, life continues to show them the absence of it. Seeking reinforces the idea that you lack, and whatever you persistently assume, you will experience. But when you live in the end, you stop searching and start being. You no longer look for signs of your manifestation. You embody the feeling of already having it. You carry yourself as if it were done. You think, speak, and act from the place of fulfillment, not from the place of wanting. This is the key difference between those who struggle and those who effortlessly receive. One is always reaching, while the other has already arrived. Imagine an actor preparing for a role. The moment they step on stage, they do not act as if they are becoming the character. They are the character. They fully assume the identity, speaking, moving, and thinking as that person. And because they commit to the role, the audience believes it too. The same is true for you. When you assume the state of your fulfilled desire, life itself becomes the stage that conforms to your assumption. Many hesitate to do this because they are waiting for proof. They want to see the evidence before they believe. But that is not how creation works. The seen world is merely a reflection of the unseen. If you wait for physical proof before changing your assumption, you will always remain stuck in the loop of waiting. The moment you stop waiting and start knowing, everything shifts. Think of a person who desires to be wealthy. If they constantly tell themselves they are poor, if they check their bank account in disappointment, if they worry about every bill, they are living in the state of lack. But if they shift their assumption, if they begin to feel abundant, to walk with confidence, to make decisions from a place of prosperity rather than fear, their external world will begin to reflect this new inner state. Opportunities will arise, financial doors will open, and circumstances will shift to match their assumption. This is not magic, this is law. You do not need to figure out how it will happen. You only need to assume that it already has. When you live in the end, you trust that the unseen is just as real as the seen. You stop asking when and how because you already know it is done. Doubt is what keeps most people trapped in the search. They waver between belief and disbelief, constantly checking for signs, constantly questioning whether their desire will ever materialize. But faith does not waver. Faith does not ask for reassurance. Faith declares something is true, and in doing so, makes it true. You must embody the reality you desire before you see it. Do not wait for the world to give you permission to feel wealthy, loved, successful, or happy. Feel it now. Own it now. Walk as if it were already yours, and soon you will find that it is. The moment you stop seeking and start knowing, the world will move to reflect your certainty. It must, because the world is simply a mirror of your inner state. Faith is the invisible bridge between what is seen and what is yet to be seen. It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet visible. But to many, faith feels uncertain, like a fragile hope rather than an unshakable truth. This is where most people struggle. They believe only in what they can see with their eyes, touch with their hands, and measure with logic. But the greatest truth of life exists beyond the senses. Your desires are already fulfilled in ways beyond your understanding, and your only task is to trust, not to chase. When you chase something, you affirm that it is separate from you. You believe it is outside of your reach, and in doing so, you push it further away. But when you trust, when you move with the certainty that it is already done, you allow it to come to you effortlessly. Faith is not about forcing reality to change. It is about aligning yourself with the reality that already exists in the unseen. Imagine planting a seed. You do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust that beneath the soil the process is unfolding. You water it, give it sunlight, and know that in time it will break through the surface. Faith works the same way. The moment you desire something, the seed is planted. Your belief, your trust is the water that nourishes it. If you worry, doubt, or try to force its growth, you disrupt the natural process. But when you trust, when you live as though your desire is already on its way, it must manifest. Many people think that faith means waiting passively, but this is not true. Faith is an active knowing. It is the ability to walk forward even when you do not yet see the path beneath your feet. It is the willingness to act as though what you desire is already yours, to speak, think, and move in alignment with that reality. You do not wait for proof, you become the proof through your conviction. Look at the great figures of history, those who changed the world in ways others thought impossible. They did not wait for evidence before believing. They believed first and the evidence followed. Whether in science, art, business, or spirituality, every great breakthrough came from someone who trusted in an unseen reality before the world recognized it. The same principle applies to your life. You must trust in your desire's fulfillment before it becomes visible. Doubt is the greatest enemy of faith. When you doubt, you send mixed signals to the universe. One moment you believe, the next you question. This back and forth prevents the bridge from forming between the unseen and the seen. Faith must be unwavering. You must hold to your vision even when nothing in the physical world suggests it is possible. The mind will always try to interfere, asking, but how, when, where will it come from? This is not your concern. Your only responsibility is to assume it is already done. Trust that unseen forces are working on your behalf, arranging circumstances, guiding people, and shifting reality in ways you cannot yet perceive. The universe operates beyond human understanding, and when you surrender control, you allow things to unfold in ways greater than you could ever plan. When you live with faith, you walk differently. You no longer carry desperation or anxiety. You no longer try to manipulate circumstances. You rest in the knowing that what is meant for you is already yours. You speak with confidence, move with purpose, and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Faith is the bridge. It connects the world of thought to the world of form. It turns the invisible into the visible. The moment you stop chasing and start trusting, you will see that what you sought was never far. It was simply waiting for you to believe. Everything you seek is already within you. The world you experience is nothing more than a reflection of your assumptions, your beliefs, and the state of being you choose to embody. There is no need to chase, no need to struggle, only the need to awaken to the truth that what you desire is already yours. You are not here to beg for opportunities, but to align with them. Your purpose is not to search endlessly, but to live in the certainty that what is meant for you is unfolding effortlessly. Your imagination shapes your reality. Your desires are divine guidance. And your faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. When you stop looking, stop doubting, and start knowing, the world will rearrange itself to match your inner conviction. What you assume to be true will be made real. So walk as if you have already received, trust that all things are working in your favor, and let life unfold in perfect harmony. Thank you.